What up? We're back with some more Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, and today we're on episode 9. We're almost finished with this show. It feels like we've been watching this show for a while, but it's only been 12 episodes, or it's only gonna be 12 episodes. And now that we're approaching the end, it's you get a bit of that realization that, oh shit, it's about to end. And this show has been really fun. Last episode we finished up what I've been calling the Gundam arc, and it was a great arc for us. I personally have really liked the story and like the progression of Mizusaki. That's her name. I've really been liking her progression. Just getting to see her parents, and her parents were like cool, and I didn't expect her parents to be cool, and the everything about this like little mini arc for Mizusaki has been really interesting to me. Specifically episode 8, I believe it was episode 8, that was like, or 7, that was like my favorite episode in the show so far. So we're gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken or something totally different, the best place in the end, as long as my social media link's going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early or the full-length reaction to these episodes, you can subscribe to my Patreon. That's going to be in the same place. We also have a Discord if you want to join that. So if with all that being said, we're going to get our headset on, make sure they're on. Hang on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Oh, they're getting the sound for it. This way. That's smart, actually. It's rent for providing this of a listen. We're opportunists. What can I say? Oh, we got our name out there for real. That's what's up. That's good. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, we can't. Hey, yeah, right. With additional fees for our effort, as we walk away, right. Okay. Self-publishing exhibit and sells it. Ooh. Now this is what we need. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, why not? You see how good we are at this? Absolutely. This is why MINI-MORI, the GOAT. You know, this is why I always say, and I mean I always say this, but the best, and take this into your real life, if you will. But the best people to work with, and it will always be true, but the best people to work with are lazy people. Lazy people make the fucking world go round. I don't care what anybody says. People are like, no, it's the people that are like really, headstrong and like, hard working and shit. No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. I promise you, it's lazy people. Lazy people in one way or another are the reason why the world around you works. Or at least the reason why the world around you is so fucking easy. I cannot stress enough. That is the reason why I like, that's why I like MINI-MORI so much, because she represents every bit of productive laziness that I love. Behold! I'm supposed to split it. God damn it. That's a good, I mean, it's a good idea. I don't know why I thought she was actually in that bitch. Oh, that's cool as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. There's some things where like I understand that Mizusaki is like super like, oh man, that's crazy because she's a rich girl, but like then I look at it and I'm like, I haven't seen that either, so that's kind of cool. And I'm not like, you know, super well off, so. Oh, sick. What the fuck? Oh. Nice. What the fuck? We have fans.
うまくてもフルーツが死んでいたり、フルーツが全面に出ているのにまずい時もあります。うまいのはもちろんその果物らしさも出てることが重要です。
Yeah, I'm about to say it's a pretty deep thought for food, but bro, we are not okay. No. Oh god, not a self-insert. Oh, not a self-insert.
金森さん、さっきから何してるの？つぶやきです。SNS とはのんきなもんですな。SNS は遊びじゃねえんだ。
There's nothing fun about social media. That's real though. Damn, that's good numbers, low key. That's actually really decent numbers. What? Kanamori? Aren't you like 13, bro? Like, what the fuck? What is this goat activity that I'm seeing? Like, in the grand scheme of like social media, yeah, it's small, but what the fuck? Wow, what this fucking, oh my god, this first person point of view is crazy. MINI-MORI! Let's go. Oh. Wow, what a crazy worker, bro. She's like, there's more in there? I'm gonna earn that. Oh my god, bro. Real. That's a real. See? Fuck it, work. I think I realized why I like Kanamori so much. Nah, that's good too. Yep. We on the same fucking page. God damn it. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Good shit. And yeah, individual sales. Let's go. Nice. Okay. Shit, I would have ran a parking garage. Jazz nigga, you would have I would have had you. Let's go. Big Kanamori. There it goes. There it goes, right there. Right. Heating, repair, tax. Ooh, yep. And that is that shit. That is that shit. That's real as fuck. It was a very long form way of saying it, but that's real as fuck. Doesn't matter how good your product is, if nobody knows about it, what are you gonna sell? Oh god. Damn, that's really cool. Yeah, right? That's cool. Okay. Okay, I like it. That's my fuck. Was it thuggery? Let's go. That is a goat mentality. Oh, right. Because there wouldn't actually be a beam. Yeah, there wouldn't actually. Right, I like. Yeah, there wouldn't actually be a. That's a good. Right, that. Whoa! That's, oh my god. The nerd in me liked that one. The nerd in me liked that one. Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck? I ain't drawing no lasers. Down, girl. Let me explain. Right. Right. If you're not gonna have lasers, right, there you go. If you're not gonna have lasers, make it, you gotta at least make it look like something was shot out. Like it was in use. Let's go. Let's get it. Great place to stop it. A great place to start, or to stop it off. That was, God, the nerd in me loved that one. That, God damn it. That shit was great. That's a really cool art as well. I like that one. That's probably my favorite out of all the arts we've seen at the end of the shows. Okay. That was good. I really like that. Glad that we got a bit of focus. Okay, here's what I will say, right? Starting off the episode, we got a really good, I think a lot of this show has been really real. And if I had $1 for every time I said this about this show, I'd have maybe like $10. But point being, I'll say it again and have 11. When this show gets real, it gets like real, like in the technical aspect of it, right? I love that this show it shows you what actually the goings ons of what it's like to not just run like an animation studio, but just like run a business. And I think that's what a lot of this episode was about. There's expenses to this type of stuff. I haven't seen any other like anime that talks about doing making animation or anything like that. And I know there's other anime out there like it, so maybe they get into it as well. But seeing it from the perspective of like high school kids, like, I don't know how old they are, like 13, 15 year olds, seeing it from their perspective of, hey, we need a we have a budget, like this is how much money we made, this is how much it cost us, luckily the school was funding a lot of it, so we were good, but like technically we could have made a lot of money with that, right? It's really interesting to see from their perspective, because in the real world that is exactly what we would be thinking about, right? And I don't remember what episode it was, but there was a specific episode where I said a lot of this show kind of reminds me of Ed, Edd n Eddy, where everything was a fucking scheme. Everything was a, how are we gonna make today's dollar, right? And while I love Ed, Edd n Eddy was like mainly a comedy, Cartoon Network show. It was going to focus on the comedy. There was never going to be like an episode where like Ed is, running some type of business, and, they were all doing their taxes. There wasn't going to be an episode. I think they kind of did that in the Nothing But Up, the Edco episode. They kind of did that, I think. But you get the point, right? There aren't going to be like episodes like that when you watch other things that have something to deal with, kids starting a business or something like that, something to that effect. But the fact that this show is so real as to think about, like, no, there are expenses to making money. It just makes it, to me, the like financial nerd that I am, it excites me to see that type of stuff, to like, for that stuff to like be thought of and added to the show. Could I have done without it? Sure. If they never said anything, like if they never like pointed out that they needed money to run the art club or the animation club, they never said, hey man, all this stuff, I would not have batted an eyelash. I would have been cool. But when you add a little bit more detail to things, kind of like animation, when you add just a little bit more detail to things, there's a specific enjoyment that people will get out of it. It kind of raises the bar for your project or your anime or whatever you're doing, and that's what this show does, is that it kind of raises the bar just a little bit. It goes the extra mile. We're a show about three girls making anime. How do we raise the bar a little bit? Let's talk about the fine details of it, things like that is what kind of draw me into this anime specifically, into other anime in general. But with all that being said, and making the Ed and Eddie comment again, I realize now why I like Kanamori's character so much. I now realize it. It's because Kanamori reminds me of me when I was a kid. I don't know why it took me till episode 9 of 12 to realize that, but that's exactly why I like Kanamori. Kanamori is exactly, and I mean exactly, like real life me. Like Kanamori is like, outside of YouTube, Kanamori, like if you want like I feel like every YouTuber is like this. Like there's a YouTube version of that person, and then there's the like how they are like on their day to day. If you want an accurate description, Kanamori is exactly that, because she's very downcast and like she's kind of just mellow, and there's not much, it seems like there's not much going on in that head, because she's not saying anything. She's just kind of chilling, she's just getting by with life, when in fact there's a fuck ton. There's a fuck ton. And the reason why there's not a lot that's being said is because there's a lot going up here that's like, all right, we got to do this and then do this and then do this and then you do this, and it's so tiring to think about that stuff that by the time it's time to like talk to somebody, you're like, yeah, there's not a lot of energy that gets put into like the outward expression of things, because inward you have to get shit done, so you can get shit done on with the work that you have to get done. I guess that was poorly said, but you understand, hopefully. So in this episode, seeing Kanamori like have this business minded self even as a kid, which is why I like Kanamori, because even as a kid I was like, what can I sell, how can I make money, and what is that going to cost me? Like how can I make more money on top of the money that I'm already making? This has been my philosophy since I was a young lad, and there are like stories of baby me like finding any way to make another dollar, and I love how much I could like connect to Kanamori's character, because the thing with Kanamori is that while yes she is like all those things that we just talked about, downcast but very busy, and that's why she doesn't have a lot of energy to do anything, Kanamori is just as excited as everybody else, and I a lot of people may not see that, And that's not just like in world with the anime, but like outside as a viewer, a lot of people may not see that. But Kanamori is just as excited and like ready to get at it as everybody else. You know, when Midori or Mizusaki, when they're like super, let's get it, you know, they're hype and they're looking forward to something. Kanamori is just as hype and looking forward to it, if not more than they are. It's just that it doesn't get outwardly shown the same way. Specifically, I don't think I pointed this out, but I was going to, and I just completely forgot because of all the other stuff that happened in the episode. But last episode, when like right before they did the promotion for their animation, when they did their little cheer and they were like, yeah, spirit, or whatever the fuck they were saying, it was almost weird to see Kanamori in that huddle, you know, yelling spirit, or whatever the fuck they were saying. But then, you know, it dawned on me again, like, oh no, she's excited too. Of course, she's always been excited. You know, she just doesn't have the energy for it. And with that role in the group, you're not going to. You're not going to. Trust me. Personally, I know, like, I just know from personal experience of being that friend in the group, you don't have a lot of energy to outwardly express that type of excitement the same way everybody else does. You are just excited, but you don't have the energy for it because of the role that you play for everything that had to like come together in order for this to happen. So you know, while I love Kanamori, I have such a greater respect for the character with this episode, and now looking back at everything else. She also made a great point with social media, in which they are doing actually really well on social media. You know, like in the grand scheme of like people that have like millions of followers and subscribers and retweets and stuff like that. Of course, you know, they're very small, but those numbers are like not anything to like, you know, put your nose up at. Those are good numbers. 34 what I seen, like 34 retweets or like however many views. That's good numbers. Anything that is higher, to me at least, anything that is higher than 0, that's good numbers, nigga. And I think that you know, going forward with like a business or whatever the fuck you're doing, a social site or whatever you're doing, you kind of have to continue to have that thought process. Is that anything more than 0 is a good fucking number. So they are doing really well, and it makes a good, and you know, she makes a good point of you need promotion. Like I said, if you have, it doesn't matter if you have a good product. If you have a good product and nobody knows about it, no, you don't have a product at all. So now you're doing work for nothing. You're doing work for no reason. So the analogy, I don't think I used that word wrong, or that word right, but I would say the parallel between the Eizouken Club and the liquor store is like really important, because that is exactly where Eizouken could be if they don't promote. That was the problem with the liquor store, is that it was inefficient. They had a good product. People loved it. When people saw it, when people consumed that product, they loved it. But it, as a business, it was inefficient. Which is why it's like the liquor store. Even though the liquor store had a Kanamori, the liquor store didn't really have a Kanamori. Whereas the Eizouken Club actually they actually have a Kanamori to help them like transcend what the liquor store was doing. It's like I said, it's just a really good parallel because yes, it is very true. You have to have promotion. Even Kanamori saying there's nothing fun about social media. Like, of course there's not, but you need it. Once again, if I had $1 for every time I said this, but I'll say it anyway. The imagination of Midori and Mizusaki is always a blast to like watch. It's just fun to see like scaffoldings turn into robot giraffes and shit like that. And it just kind of reaffirms how creative they are just as people. And then kind of more, or by proxy and by extension, I meant to say, kind of reaffirming how important, once again, Kanamori is, because somebody has to ground them. But yeah, it's just really fun to see how creative they are, but not only how creative they are, but like how much they care and how much they take their craft seriously. Because the thing is that as creative as they are, the idea of Midori saying that her lasers were invisible tells me all I need to know about how serious she takes her craft. Because that's real. Well, that's another thing where could they have left that out? Yes. They definitely could have. And I would not have batted an eye. But because they added that bit of detail, it just levels up your story for me. Just the detail is great, because in real life, like realistically, that is real. Like, you wouldn't see the laser. But here's the thing, and here's the compromise, right? It's like, yes, you would not see the laser. Scientifically, that's just not, or not even scientifically, physically, that is not how a laser works. Like, scientifically too, yeah, that's just not how physically and scientifically, that's not how a laser works. Yes, you do have lasers that you can see, but the kind of laser that they are making, you would not see it. Now, as she said, now if we were talking about plasma, that's different. You would see that. That's totally different. However, it also would be inefficient to like the kind of, enemies that you're fighting. Point being that the level of thought that goes into these worlds that Midori and Mitsusaki create are awe-inspiring. It is exactly what somebody who is like shooting to create, oh my god, I got something in my eye, is exactly something that somebody who is like trying to create the perfect world or the greatest world, whatever, should be thinking about. They should be thinking about small details like that, because nitpicking details like that is what makes your world better. And that's just in any anime. So seeing them do it, oh my god, it's great. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that really, and I mean really, impressed me. The fact that Kanamori has a good point. You need the lasers, because if you don't have the lasers, it's not flashy. Not only that is it not flashy, but you are now lacking in action in an action film or an action animation. You need the action. The lasers, which is why everybody else does it, which is why I wouldn't be mad if they did show the lasers. The reason why people show the lasers in like movies and anime and stuff like that is because you can see it. It conveys that there's a laser. It conveys action. Here's the genius of Midori. She goes, okay, there won't be lasers. I'm sticking with that. Fine. Here's what we will do though. We will add an equal action or reaction to the cannons being fired. And that is simple but fucking genius. And and here's the thing, it's something that I'm pretty sure they learned earlier in the show, where if I think it was with the wind. Yeah, I think that's what it was, when they were looking at the wind, where the wind is invisible. How do you signify that the wind is blowing though? You add things like that convey that, you add like things in the world that convey that the wind is blowing, not the end product of the wind blowing. So somebody falling over or something, that would be the end product. So in their little in their animation that they're making right now, the end product would be that one of the ships would blow up. But you don't want to convey the end product. The end product doesn't convey that something happened. You have to have something in the world happen that convey that the action happened, right? So for Midori, genius as she is, says, okay, there will be a shell that comes out of the cannon, just like an action shot of a shell coming out of a cannon, and that itself will convey that, you know, that the laser was shot. Going back to the wind, there was a great lesson that aided in this final arc that we're going through, is that once again the wind was blowing, but it's invisible. How do we make sure that people understand that the wind is blowing? You don't draw lines or something. That's elementary. But what you do is that you add things in the wind that are blowing with it. So it shows, it signifies that the wind is blowing. It's genius. It's smart. It's smart world building. It's smart detailing. You don't think that a show about making an anime would be interesting, and to a lot of people it wouldn't. But god damn it, for somebody like me that is a sucker for like small details, I love it. I love it. This is great. This is absolutely great. I loved it. But this was a really good episode. I'm really excited to see this final project that they're working on, because you know, having backing. I mean, they got it all. I mean, MINI-MORI, I don't know how much I gotta sing her praises, but MINI-MORI was in the background working, and I mean working. So they got all the dominoes set up. I'm just trying to see what kind of masterpiece comes out of it. So if you haven't already, subscribed, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more of, I was about to say Full Metal Alchemist. If you have any requests, whether it be more Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken or something totally different, the best place in that in is always my social media. Link's going to be in the description below. If you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description below for that as well. We also have a Discord if you want to join that. So with all that being said, where's my off button? There it is. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.